guys, so my name's Elliot. I've been a member of ACBA for quite some time and I've just finally bought a decent camera other than the phone I'm using right now. So this is the Canon EOS M10. I've been looking for quite a while for something like this and it was kind of affordable for me, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna get it. So this is going to be a major upgrade on my ACBA game, I think, hopefully. So I'm just going to document me trying to grind with it and trying to get used to using it, and, you know, some tips along the way. I've been a member of ACBA for about, I think it's like 5 or 6 years now. I've ranked about 28th in the world tournament. And yeah, I used to be a lot bigger in the community, like a lot more active in the community. I'm not so active anymore just because of life getting in the way. But my New Year's resolution this year is to fix that and do something about that. So first step was the camera. This is an old Dio I've got here, which I'll be working in. As you can see, travelling from university and different houses and stuff. It's a bit battered and it's a bit worn. But it'll do for now, just to practice in. So this is going to be my little dojo. But, you know, I feel like for me, the skills are there. I've got the skills for ACBA. I feel like my strongest point is probably posing. And I want to just work on the rest, really. I think my weakest point is the photography side of it, like lighting and just camera tricks really that I need to pick up on, which is another reason why I've got this beauty. So this is as I said before, it's the Canon EOS M10. Just try and focus in there. It's a beauty. It's a real easy to use point and shoot, but it's got the same sensors as a proper DSLR. Like it's got it going on. So we'll try and just take the lens off there. As you can see, like it's really, you know, it's got the right sensors and it's all there. It's just about the user really. It's about the guy behind the camera now. So yeah, I'll be rapidly switching to videoing on that camera right now instead of this iPhone, which I've been using for years now. And, you know, mess with some figures and see what we think. So, time to switch. Over and out. Right, so I've switched over to the new camera now. I don't know if it's coming up in the finished, but I'm getting quite some light banding going across. So, I don't know what's causing that. That's a bit better. Just brighten it up a bit. As you can see, this should be a lot better quality from the iPhone, I'm hoping. But yeah, so right now this is my old Dio and it's a bit of a wreck. You can see it's all patching away there and it's a bit gappy, I know, but I'll try and hide that in the picture. Also, I've put these bins here just to hide, because there's a real big paint scuff in the back there. So I'm just putting them to hide it, and hopefully we'll hide some of that in the photography as well, just some of the scuffing and messing on it. But yeah, so let's get some figures in and start messing with it. So for today, I'm going to use something that's a bit unusual. It's definitely not used much in the community. I know there's a few guys out there, like Darius is mostly to blame for my obsession with these guys. You know, there's a few other guys that use them, and they are, for me, I'm a massive SH Figure Arts fan. Like, it started with Dragon Ball, and it's gone on to everything else they do. Like, I'm even considering getting Sailor Moon figures. I've never watched Sailor Moon in my life, but I'm considering getting them because SH Figure Arts make them, and they are the best. For, you know, I feel like recently SH Figure Arts are slipping a bit with some of the Avengers things they're putting out. Like, I know recently the Hawkeye has just come out, and I think that looks atrocious, but 9 times out of 10 you're going to get a good figure. So this guy is Kaimen Rider Forze, and Kaimen Rider is something that Darius certainly got me into. I think he was the biggest influence for me. And about 2 years ago, I bought my first Kaimen Rider, which wasn't this guy. It was, oh god, what was it now? It was from the 5 series. Oh, I can't remember his name. I can't remember, but it doesn't matter because I fell in love with Forze, which is this guy. And basically, yeah, about 2 years ago, I went to New York to visit all the ACBA crew that were out there, and on my way out, I just got in touch with Darius and was like, there's a figure that you used to use when it first come out, and I need it because that's the one that has got me into it. And it was purely Darius's ACBA shot that got me into it. So from there, this is probably one of the most easy to acquire Kamen Rider figures. It's really cheap. I think currently in the UK on Amazon, it's like £20, which is nothing. Like, that's a Marvel Legends figure. In fact, some Marvel Legends figures are more than that, and this guy can do so much more than Marvel Legends. He is phenomenal. So yeah, I just got in touch with Darius and was like, get me that figure, and he did. So I went out, and then my entire trip there consisted of me buying all the parts and different characters and different forms of this guy. So for people that don't know, Forze works with these 4 little switches that are on his belt. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they control each limb, so his arms and legs. And he can switch them out to different powers. So the base states, which this one is, the basic form, he has a rocket arm with the figure, with the basic purchase when you get it. It comes with a rocket arm, and he comes with a drill leg, and it's just amazing. So here he is. He might be a little bit dusty because he's been on my shelf for quite some time, but I love him. He's such a nice figure. So yeah, I've ended up having to come up with a storage solution for all his parts because it is too much. So like, this is one thing here. Let me just move him out of the way. This is one thing here just full of parts for this figure. So with Forze, the modules that he has, the different switches, they come in expansion packs for him, and there's 5 expansion packs, and in total there's 40 switches that he can go between. So yeah, there's a lot of pieces. So I'm hoping to just chill this evening, do some ACBA with him and test out my new camera, because this is the start of me actually getting into ACBA hard like I used to be. And yeah, getting back on the horse. So I'm going to talk about vanilla posing now, because it's the basis, it's the easiest thing, but it's the one thing that people do wrong, and it shouldn't be done wrong. I think it's a basic thing. So a lot of the time, if you ask someone to get in a vanilla pose, they go like this. They go do do do, straighten all limbs, make sure he's right, straighten him up, straighten him, right, boom. Now for me, there's so much wrong with that. It's just, look at it. It's just very flat. It's boring. It's not interesting to look at, and especially for a character like this who's quite animated. He's I want to say stylish, but he's not. From the outfit, it's not. He doesn't look very stylish, but in the sense of he stands with a bit of a swagger, and like he does a move where he like slicks his hair back. I know there's no hair there, but he like squeaks his hand across the side of his helmet, and it's really fun. So yeah, it's just, I feel like this doesn't suit the character, which a lot of people don't consider, because it's just a figure at the end of the day. It's just, oh, it's a toy. It stands how I want it to stand, but you need to take into account personality and the actual character. And I feel like that's something forgotten about. So even simple things like, you know,
who stands with their head perfectly straight. Even that's a little bit better, but mostly turn your arms in. No one really stands with their elbows pointing, like the inner elbow, like pointing directly straight. So just turn them in a little bit. Add a little bit of curve. For me, it's all about the subtleties of the pose as well. Like, you probably don't realise, but when you're stood there straight armed, if you like, just stood there in a vanilla pose yourself, you'll find that your arm isn't completely straight. There's always a little bend to it. So just add a little bit of a bend, and maybe like for this guy, because he's got a bit of attitude, just turn the leg out a little tiny bit, kick it out a little bit and have him chilling, maybe leaning to one side a little, have him just looking off. And even that is a bit better. It's a bit more to it, and it's subtle. I've literally moved the figure small amounts, but especially on something like a figure art where it's a lot of articulation going into it, and it's a lot to think about and a lot to move. The articulation's there for a reason, isn't it? I can get him doing backflips or anything like that, but it's about using the subtleties of them poses. Like, it might have a great range on an elbow joint, but I've moved it like 2 degrees, if that, and it adds to it, and it makes that difference. So that's what you want to do, really. That's sort of the vanilla pose thing, and then from there you can add a bit more personality to him, like put the arm up, or just it's subtle things, but it's getting that basic stood there pose right to then manipulate it in a way where you can get him doing whatever you want. Just a little bit on the torso, then a little bit more on the head, maybe even him sort of being a bit more of a patronising sort of looking in at you, a bit more attitude, because he's certainly got it. He's that sort of character. A bit more lent in, other arm up, get that leg forward like he's really looking in at you. It's different bits like that, and it really adds to it. But I feel like for me and ACBA is I'm very good at critiquing, and I'm very good at looking at other people's work, but when it comes to my own, I'm not good at it. So I'd like to just take a minute now to just analyse that for a minute. So for me, the biggest thing there is this hand. It's not sitting right. That's not how it would sit. It would sit a bit higher. It would curl in a bit, maybe, to really, rest on the hip. And it's just not doing that at the minute. So, just don't be afraid to sit back and look at your posing and sort it out. Now, to me, that is a subtle difference. But it makes the world a difference, really, because now look at it, it's flush, it looks more natural where it's sit on him, and it's just better. I can see a load of dust on that head there, and it's doing my head in, but I can't get it because of his stupid little horns. I'm sorry. So another collector thing is to clean your figures more. But yeah, I think it's all about the subtleties of the pose here is the key to vanilla. So there he's got more of a puffed out chest, and it's a bit more like, I am powerful. And that's good, and that works for the character. He can be quite cocky. He's a Kaimen Rider at the end of the day. He's just discovered he's got these powers, and he's going out and fighting crime and more like weird Zodiac monsters, but we'll get past that. But yeah, that's, keeping it simple yet effective, where it has a static figure, but it looks like there's more life to it just from subtle movements and subtle differences in it. And I feel like that's what people need to learn when it comes to posing more, is just look at it with a bit of life in it, look at it realistically, look at it personality wise as well, instead of just, I've got a plastic figure and I'm going to plonk it on a dio and take a picture. Some of the best ACBA artists in the game will I'm sure would tell you the same as what I'm telling you now. And it is purely, you know, look at the character. How does that character move? How's that character personality-wise? How would they stand? Like, this guy's more cocky. Would he stand more shy if he was a shy character, you know, like kick a knee in a bit and maybe looking down and more down on his look? There's different things like that. Like, this is a very Superman pose he's in now, which, you know, really resonates with a powerful, fearless character. But you could quite simply, you know, change the way he's posed and make him look not so powerful. Maybe like hang his shoulders a little bit down, you know, tuck him in a bit there on the abs. Have him looking a bit more down. Maybe put his legs together a bit. He wouldn't stand so like in a strong stance. Maybe kick a knee up a little. You know, makes the world a difference. But it's small movements that really change the personality and the vibe of the picture. You know, like what you want to give off. So just think about that next time you're posing figures, and ground it in reality more, and ground it in, you know, the character more. So, I hope you like the first episode of whatever the hell this is. It's me going back to basics, I think, and me getting into this amazing hobby again in a bigger way. So, I don't really care if anyone watches this, to be honest. It's more for me, and yeah, if you like it, like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want. If you don't, then I'm not really that interested. But yeah, if you've got any nice tips for me, or you want to share anything like that, please get in touch, and it'd be great to hear from you all. So I'll put some pictures of them at the end, and we can see how we got on. Just vanilla. We'll try something else later. Okay. See you later. Bye.